Toronto Falters going at it in this pre-made match. Big three-piece to start off by Toronto with two big nades. And Bunks does get a big two-piece, but it's not enough as his teammates are coming up with spawns, allowing Cleveland Misfires to get this opening time down to the first 30 seconds. Cleveland Misfires up 10-0.
I mean, great start right off the bat right there. I mean, shout out Cleveland, right? They have a little bit of a rough start when it comes to the kill department, but they bounce right back. No problem. Get 14 points on the board. But Toronto now is finally getting some time. A lot of two pieces coming back and forth here. So we're going to see that all game long, I imagine. But Iffy trying to stay alive in the hill here. Just trying to keep it contested as the P2 is about to pop up. The side of Toronto is spawning good side here. That grenade comes in, saves a teammate, and kills the teammate all in one go. So I'd love to see that. That'd be a little bit of a god nade there. But
good with the
big rotation coming in.
Yeah, you see Toronto, they're really good with their nades, really good at placing them. You know, sometimes they hit teammates, but most of the time it's hitting the other team. But right now the kill feed is lighting up good for Toronto as they're just getting all the kills. You see Cleveland Misfires trying to push this P2 from the back, trying to get those P2 spawns, but it's just too much viscosity who's just taking down all of Cleveland Misfires. They're trying to get close to this hill, all four down. They are getting those back spawns. Let's see if Cleveland, Toronto knows. I think they do know that, but Silence does get a kill on the board, but Toronto Falters are just running away with this hard point.
Yeah, Toronto Falters doing a good job here, but the Diamond's not going to help you out now. It's Jumpy doing a good job. Look at the Diamond. Ryzen just being annoyed right there. Almost gets a nice kill there, but does get taken down. The last 10 seconds going their way, and they're hitting this nice rotation right now. Because if they can get anything out of that, then a really player viscosity. Trying to get pushed on up to top. Barracks does just that. Will just be a slight foothold for his team here. Some nice kills still coming for the way of Cleveland as they clear things up a bit and get themselves set up for that new hill. But Iffy going to be here, be very annoying. Get 2 kills that are absolutely massive. Is going to stay alive. The teammates are going to be here very quickly to reinforce.
They're here. Cleveland Misfires are trying to get on this hill, but Toronto Falters are pushing it from the front side. Cleveland was getting that backside, but player 5 has flipped them out. There is one player on the hill. He gets taken down. Iffy trying to find the second. He does find the second. Shots are not being Iffy today. Now he got the pistol, trying to find the third. He finds that. His teammate Jumpy finds the last 2 players circling around the hills, up to Silence, trying to break in. He finds a great big 2-piece of the player on the front and the side. He finds the player in the hill. One-man Cleveland Misfire army. Silence is being that guy. The rotation is on at Cleveland Misfire. Toronto Falters are already here.
Shout out the Toronto Falters hitting some crazy rotations and also just hitting the nastiest 2 pieces of all time every second. But Blakey Boost gets a 2-piece of his own. Gonna get some good team help here as well. This is a massive hill for the side of Cleveland. They get the big time here if they play it correctly. Toronto's gonna start breaking themselves right back in. Jumpy with 2, looking for a little bit more. He's gonna get taken down. Is Cleveland gonna hold on for now? Gets a nice kill at the end there just to make sure if he doesn't have a chance to get another 2. He's been doing that. That viscosity. Kind of waiting for the teammates to get here, getting a little damage down. Is gonna lose the life though. Chillins just being annoying with that one. But now the push coming in, Toronto Falters, multiple different angles here. The first kill coming in, second kill is following up as well. Cleveland though going to counter with 1, but if he stays alive, gets that second kill. Now the second wave trying to make it back for Cleveland. 20 seconds left on this hill. Toronto Falters trying to get that last bit of time, but Cleveland, they also want to try to get as much as they can as well. Ooh.
Toronto Falters, they're just lighting up the kill feed in this game. Big 2, big 3, always lighting up the kill feed from the Toronto Falters. Rotation back to P1. Player 5 was there, but Cleveland Misfires did a great job of taking him down, trying to get control. Second set of rotations could be the rotations for the Cleveland Misfires as they got 2 players on this P1. The second players are just around the hill, making sure that they don't make it an easy track for Toronto Falters to get to this hill, but those nades and those kills for Toronto Falters come in 3 pieces like we see on the kill feed as always, and Toronto Falters have broken into this hill. Right now we have a neutral hill, but viscosity, big 2-piece with a nade as always. And Silence does get his cruise missile on his own to help his team temporarily, but this P1 is still in the favor of Cleveland Misfires.
I didn't even realize he had a cruise missile in the back pocket, so I'd love to see that pop it off there. The Flunks are working on a cruise missile of their own. Up to 5 kills so far, looking for more. Is going to get taken down, so, a little caster curse for you. You're welcome, Coley, for a free kill, apparently. That's my bad. That's definitely on me, but Toronto Falters Getting ready for this rotation. I mean, what a beam right there. I mean, that's tough. You peek the window looking for a free kill and you just lose your head. So that's a tough one. But now Toronto trying to hit their rotation. They do just that. But Cleveland surrounding this hill right now. They do a good job getting those kills. They're on the time. No silence. Setting up in the middle of the map, waiting for some free kills. Is going to get that.
And then the Cleveland Misfires, they are on this hill trying to inch their way closer to this, to a tie game to make the game favorable in their favor. So 30 seconds to go on this hard point time. They will bring him to about 100-point mark. But for Cassidy, he's the big nade thrower. His teammates have the gunny behind him. His big four go down. There is a Toronto break. Cleveland Misfires off the spawn trying to get to this hill, but Cooley and if they're pushed up, Reed responds.
Cleveland, I mean, for the most part, all things considered, are doing a great job fighting in this one right now. Only going to be down by about 35 points right now as this next hard point about to pop up. Toronto have the initial on it, but Cleveland trying to get those close spawns. They're trying to wrap around the back right now. You have to deal with that number 6 player. Iffy that they do win that gunfight, though. Cleveland winning some key gunfights here, a chance to push on in.
And there goes the first kill by Silence. Can Blakey Boost find the second kill, but it does not matter. His teammates are all around the hill trying to get kills, and it does allow for Cleveland Misfires to get into this hill. You got player Aiden still just being a nuisance around the hill before he finally gets taken down. One Toronto player on the hill, he gets taken down. Hill in full control of Cleveland Misfires. It has been a grind, but these Cleveland Misfires are slowly inching their way back into this game. Coley does find one, but Bunks, he's sitting in front of this hill waiting for any Toronto Falters to show their face.
He's on a big roto right here. But Toronto going to be the first ones there in mass. So now Silence has to try to clutch this stuff. Currently double positive at 29 and 13. Looking for the triple positive if he can get it by the end of the map by the looks of it. But him and Bunks both got that double pause situation right now. Cleveland Misfires are going to get shot back at those. Toronto Falters, 2 players push on in, get those kills. They are going to counter one, but some nice gunfights going back and forth. Is Toronto going to overall win them on this new hill? 151 to 152. Cleveland got very close to taking the lead there temporarily, but Toronto fight on back, get themselves some solid time.
Yeah, man, this hole right here for Toronto is going to be big to try to just stretch their lead back up again because momentum is now favoring Cleveland Misfires. They do get a big 2-piece to break into the hill. MJ Horizon is just turning up his gun. He's trying to get a big 2-piece, but he finds one. His teammates are there. There is Jumpy. There is 3 and 2 that goes in the favor of Toronto that allows for Toronto to get the rest of that scrap time. The rotation to P1 is on, and Toronto Falters, they already set up, getting the kills to go in their favor. This hill should have started off in the favor of Toronto, but Cleveland did enough to get the hill first.
Cleveland. A little bit of a tough time, but for the most part, doing a great job. Toronto here, up by 11. Nothing too crazy. They have that P1 control, but they have to worry about Silence. He's on a quick little flank, picks up one, looking for more, is going to get taken down. Great shots coming in from Viscosity. That AR is cooking, but now Blakey Boost gets one, goes down. Cleveland Misfires. So yeah, Cleveland Misfires trying to push back here. They don't want to give up too much time on this P1 because it should be one that you keep contested pretty heavily. But Toronto, they pick up 3, looking for the 4th. But Ryzen is going to get a nice kill there, looking for a bit more. He's going to pick up a 2nd. His teammate picks up a 3rd. And just like that, things are going to break open a little bit. They get a little bit more map control.
Yeah, I mean, they're trying to, they got to fight for everything now. They got to get this game closer to it than what it is right now. So they got to try to fight for everything. So this P2 is going to be a big hold. They got to try to keep these Toronto players, try to keep them strapped out, spawn out wherever they are, where they accrue as much hard point time as they can get. They have made this game mixy. They have made it scrappy. They have been down, but they are never out. There's a kill V just going back and forth, favoring Cleveland Misfires as they're holding off Toronto for now. First 15 off the board. If they can get another 15, that would be big. And they're just taking every Toronto player that tries to push in from that backside. One more player in the lighthouse. He gets taken down. Big 3-piece Cleveland Misfires. They're fighting back, CNK.
They're fighting all the way back indeed. And just like that, Cleveland Misfires looking hot. They've got the lead. Looking for a bit more as well, as they've got that rotation as well. You got to watch out for Jumpy, though. Been a little bit jumpy with those rotations, trying to see if he can get something going. Get some nice, clean shots off. You got Gotta be nice and careful here. He's gonna get taken down just like that. Cleveland nice and set up and waiting for that next hill. Guess what, Toronto? He made a broke into old, but guess what? Cleveland 20 seconds away from taking the map. They've only got one player on new, but that one player is Bunks, who's 38 and 21, so I think he can cook.
Yeah, man, he can kick, and he had to do a great job of trying to get this hill, trying to see if his team can secure the spawns, because 2 players did spawn out for the Cleveland Misfires, so this hill is going to be everything. 3 big kills go in the favor of Toronto Falters. Now their team is in. They got to get rid of player 1, takes him down. This team, Cleveland Misfires, are spawning out, trying to come in from the front of this hill. Let's see if Toronto Falters are making this read. They do make the read, but silence is being where he left off. Big dog for his team, getting 2 big kill. Bunks with a big 2-piece. He's being a big dog as well for his team. Cleveland Misfires in 10 seconds away from winning this. We got to see a break here from Iffy. He finds one. Can he find the second? No, he cannot. Bunks wins that. Now it's up to Vicacity. He finds one, but Blakey Boost is there. The trades are just going back and forth. His teammates are breaking in, but Rise's big 2-piece may have won the game, but there's not enough time. There goes the kill by silence. On to next, and Cleveland wins the game.
250 to 236. That one was looking really rough for a minute early on as Toronto started out very dominant, where they were up by like, what, 70, 80? Well, yeah, about 70 points at one point in time. And Cleveland, though, I mean, they got themselves all the way back in. It was about the 152-point mark where they caught all the way back up. And, I mean, from then on out, they kept Toronto on their toes all the way to the end where they took the victory. But, I mean, you got players like Bunks going 40.